It's like super hot today for some reason.
Isn't it nice when like every bone in your body just pops? I'm gonna need to get my charger. I know Facebook didn't say Assassin's Creed. Progress.
It didn't?
Well, according to Joe.
What did it say? No way.
Which is it, Joe? Twitch says Phasmophobia. On my end, Twitch said the Pokemon one. Maybe you're drunk.
She said that last week, too, that instead of it saying Phasmophobia, it said whatever else it was, and I was like, it does not.
Ignore her.
Facebook.
No. My phone will charge. I don't think so. Oh.
Oh. I play Apex.
It's on.
Okay, I guess that's not gonna happen. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna get this started and do the intro.
Cool.
Kind of make this a little bit closer to me. Alrighty. We are back with another episode of the Craved Gaming Podcast, episode 14.
Yes, sir.
Just more and more, man. I'm freaking loving it. My name is Chase, also known as Crispy Clear, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Ross, or Pie Flava. Say hi, Ross.
What's up? It's arguably one of the best Pokemon trainers in the entire world. Here, ready to talk. The Mon.
You said the right words, arguably.
Arguably, yeah.
So, yeah, we are talking today about Pokemon. I mean, of course, every generation has their own Pokemon game that they all like and love and whatever else. But we are talking about Gen 1, the ones we grew up on, the ones from 1999, 1998. Your Pokemon, your yellow, your red, your green, your blue.
Sometimes blue, yeah.
the originals, the best. But first, Ross, how was your week?
It was good. It was long, but eventful. And hello, the No Good Game.
Yes,
Always
hello.
happy to see you in the chat.
Always happy, brother. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting. Appreciate
No,
you
the
being
week-
here, man.
The week was eventful. Work was pretty busy. I didn't get to game nearly as much as I wanted to this weekend, but that's okay because that's what the weekends are for.
And then Admiral Akbar, shots fired on that. He said blue is the best of the OGs.
Did he play yellow?
We'll get into it, but I'll say right now I liked yellow because it was the one where your Pikachu would just follow you around everywhere.
Right, and you could talk to him. How cute was that?
Yeah. But we'll get into it.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel that, man. I definitely feel that. I feel like this week was super long, and today was like the first day I just got to sit down and take a breather. I've been playing games the majority of today just to take that breather, and it's been nice.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Self-care is important. If there's one thing you could take away from this podcast, it's not Pokemon facts. Self-care. Take care of yourself out there.
Yeah, for real. Everyone's got to take care of themselves. If you don't, you'll drive yourself absolutely insane. I played... Admiral Akbar says, I played before Yellow existed. That ain't OG.
We considered... it's still Gen 1. Yeah,
It's
it
still
came out later.
Because
It
the
came out
stories are
later.
the same.
Right. I mean, the story's it's a little like there's different fights. It is like a different version of it for sure, but it's still Gen 1 as far as we're concerned. Yeah, it came out a little bit later, but it was just fan service really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pokemon originally was actually called Pocket Monsters, but then when they came out with the actual Pokemon label in, what was it, like 1998 or something? Because it was like the first Pokemon ones were like Pocket Monsters Red and Blue, Red and Green, and then it was Blue, and then they said we're not doing Pocket Monsters, we're going to call it Pokemon, which is a very shortened up Pocket Monsters. So for all of you out there, facts. Pokemon is short for Pocket Monster. It's crazy. Now you know. But anyways, man, I'm glad you had a good week, or at least you're still here. You've survived the week. And let me just say,
That's more accurate.
Let me just say and get this out of the way before I get made fun of on camera here, because we do this live on Twitch every week. I do have a pink water bottle. It's the biggest water bottle we had in our house, and so I filled it up, and I was like, oh, they're going to make fun of me, but I'll just say it right away. I have a pink water bottle.
I think it's beautiful, just like you.
Thank you. Caught me off guard with that. Okay. Mean Bean, wow, you both are looking great. The podcast listeners
Aren't
are
we?
missing out. Dude, that's what I'm saying. You know, I love and appreciate all of the supporters out there for podcast listeners, but we do this live on Twitch, which actually is the next announcement I'm going to get into. The announcements have changed a little bit, so just so you guys know. We had done this live on twitch.tv every week in the Just Chatting section. We actually have changed this now because we just realized that Twitch has a talk show and podcast section. So, of course, that feels like the right way to do that is to put that inside of the podcast section to make it a little easier to be found. So we are switching everything. It's not actually switching everything. It's me typing in a different thing. But if you're looking for us and you don't follow us yet, it's in the talk shows and podcast section of Twitch. We go live every Sunday, 7:30 Central Standard Time. And we just talk about random games every week that we enjoy. We want to get we want to get it out to all of you guys to give our opinion on these games to you guys, and maybe you'll go out and play them or check it out. I mean, whatever. I mean,
or we'll rekindle an old hobby, and you're like, man, I haven't played Fire Red in so long. Let's play Fire Red again.
Let me whip out that Game Boy Advance that had no backlight, and I had to like have all the adjustments on there and the
Had to get
lights.
that attachment that was its own light.
But for all of you podcast listeners, you're probably listening to this on your favorite podcasting app anyways. We're live. We go live on every podcasting app out there. We are in the talk shows and podcast section if you guys want to catch us live. Our Twitch things are going to be in the show notes as always, but we go live on twitch.tv/crispyclaire until Pie Flava here, Ross, gets affiliate, which go follow him, go like it, go turn on the notifications. He streams some really fun stuff. We actually have like a group of us that play a lot of things together, and it's a lot of fun. We just have a blast doing it. Also, everything here, we not only go live on twitch.tv, but if you search Crispy Claire on YouTube or Facebook, it also goes live on all of those and then gets put on the VOD back archives anyways. So, if you missed it, no big deal. The VODs are there on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and the YouTube channel itself just has all of it. So you don't really have to miss out if you just can't make it, because I get some people like to do other things on Sundays. It's the Lord's Day.
He's risen.
But anyways, so I don't think I have any other announcements. There hasn't been any recent followers on my channel. Do you have anything on yours? Maybe offline subs or offline followers, offline anything?
Oh, was it Princess Mantis? I don't have my thing open right now. She rated us a while ago. She followed me today, so shout out to her.
Hey.
And also shout out to, honestly, if you've followed me at all, thank you. Not even if it was yesterday, a week ago, if you're new, old, thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
Sweet. Yeah. Follows and everything are extremely appreciated. We like that you guys are enjoying the content that you're seeing.
Lets me know I'm doing the right job.
Yes, and that's a first in his life, so he likes to get that feeling. Just kidding. Love you, Ross.
Glad someone does.
So cool. Yeah, you had a couple followers then. That's awesome. I had none, just because I've been AFK for the past week. It's just off. And then we have 0 Apple reviews this week again. Actually, hold on. I may have messed that up because I think I refreshed it from last week.
Oh boy.
Yeah, nothing's refreshed yet on my end for any new ones. So if you want to, you can go to your Apple Podcasts, which some of you listen to. Rate us 5 stars, and if you give us a 5-star rating, I highly, highly appreciate it. Love and appreciate all of you guys. And if you accompany that with a review, we will read it live on this podcast right here at the beginning. So if you guys want to do that, that's fantastic. The analytics are fantastic for the podcast. They mean a lot more than some of you even realize. And then, yeah, last thing, so go subscribe to the YouTube channel. You see all of the other streams that we do go live there, and they get put on the archives of that too. I don't think I have anything else for announcements. What about you?
No, nothing. Not right now.
I think, if I remember right, you did have a shout out though, because I think one of our biggest and most favorite people. I'll let you get into that.
Yes, our beloved moderator / wife, my beloved wife, decided to actually request this. I might as well be at this point, honestly. She decided to request that we do Pokemon because she's a Pokemon fan. So shout out to my wife for this week's suggestion. She's adorable. You should go follow her as well at Mean Bean. It's in the chat. Mean_Bean96. She's awesome.
One of the biggest supporters. And she's the one who actually, for those of you who are watching this live or go back in the archives to listen to this, she's the one with that crochet Gengar on his desk. She made that. She has a business for crocheting stuff like that, and she makes awesome stuff like that. She made me a Sackboy from The Adventures of Sackboy on PlayStation. I don't. It's in my car. It sits in my car on my dash. It's my protector.
With him watching, I will fear no thing.
Yeah, but for those of you too, I mean, she does have her business does run through Facebook. If you guys want to follow that, Ross, I'll let you say what it's called. I don't want to botch the Facebook thing, although I obviously follow it.
I think she changed the title recently. Let me double check.
Yeah, Mean Bean Crochet.
Can you put it in the chat thing, wife?
She'll put it in the chat, and then we'll state it out loud, just so I don't want to botch that, because if you guys actually want to go order some stuff through her, she does a mean bean job. Oh, there you go.
Crafty Mean Bean.
Crafty Mean Bean. Go search that on Facebook, and she makes some cool crochet things. She pretty much makes any character that you want. If you enjoy any video game out there, she can take a picture and crochet it. It may take a little bit, but she stuffs it, and you can see exactly what the Gengar looks like. It's spot on.
It's 10 out of 10. My favorite one.
It's awesome. Anything else?
Can't think of nothing.
Cool. All right, well then we'll get into the nitty gritty, the meat and potatoes, the whatever analogy you want to use. Going into Generation 1 Pokemon. This is a throwback. This is the throwest of throwbacks. You know, to be honest, I think you probably know a lot more about this stuff than I do, so I'll kind of let you lead the floor on this, and I'll interject where my opinions come in.
So, I played in the order of Pokemon that I've played. My first one ever was Crystal, which is Gen 2, and maybe we'll cover the other generations later. We're mostly focused on the Kanto region today, and those we'll talk about some other remakes because it was remade I think 3 different times or 2 different times. But the only one I have played a little of Red, but I had Yellow when I grew up. So, or I borrowed it from a friend. I got to play it and beat it. And so, for me, that one was a little bit harder. But you start off as you're new to this town, Pallet Town, and you start. You've reached the age where you can start becoming a Pokemon trainer.
10 years old.
10 years old, yep. And you go talk to a professor. He's like, yeah, take this super... which a little bit of backstory. There's some lore, and I don't know if it's canon or not, but like certain Pokemon were used for weapons, like during war. Like apparently there was a great war. Like Lieutenant Surge, he's a gym leader, but he's formerly was an army. Like so that leads to tells me that like
he's
right
a lieutenant.
Yeah,
is that where Lieutenant Surge comes from.
Yeah. So there's like apparently there's the lore that a great war, and Charizard was like one of the biggest weapons out there. So they decided it would be a really good idea to give a 10-year-old one of the strongest weapons made for war. Don't know if that's canon or not, but that's really hilarious.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't give you Charizard. They give you Charmander, or you could pick between Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur. In Yellow, you started with Pikachu.
It's the only original game that you could start with Pikachu.
Yeah.
If you had blue, red, or green, you had to pick one of yours. But Yellow, they forced you to start with Pikachu, just like the shows did.
Yep, and then you could, you later had the opportunity, like, you had to meet certain criteria, but you could get Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. But anyway, so you pick your Pokemon, your starter Pokemon, depending on which console you had. You would then go from town to town collecting badges. There are 8 of them. And each of them have their own type. Like there's Ghost, Rock, Water, etc. But the goal is to get all these badges, and then you would challenge the Elite Four, which are the 4 toughest trainers in the region, and then you would fight the champion, and your goal is to be, to coin a phrase, and hopefully it's not copyrighted, to be the best like no one ever was your goal.
I don't think it's copy or it's coined.
Hashtag gotta catch 'em all.
That may be coined.
That one, yeah,
and,
that one's probably.
And for those of you who don't know Pokemon, which to be honest, that would blow my mind. Whenever you initially pick your first Pokemon, you get to choose between a fire type, Charmander, a water type, Squirtle, or a grass type, Bulbasaur. And basically the way like he was saying that each of these have their own separate power, so there's types, grass type, fire, fairy, all this extra stuff. It's basically a rock, paper, scissors game. But it's a lot more than just 3. There's like 9 different in the initial ones. There's 9 different types. So it's a rock, paper, scissors game where each thing has a strength against something, but a weakness to something else. So fire is strong to grass, but weak to water. Water is strong to fire, but say that. That feels wrong. Fire is weak to water, but strong to grass. Water is strong to fire, but weak to grass.
Yep.
Grass is strong to water, but weak to fire.
Yep.
Okay. And so basically, if you pick Charmander, your rival, who you fight 5-6 times in the entire series, the campaign, he'll pick the one that you're weak against. You are weak against. He picks the stronger one. In which, if you've played the newer Pokemons, it's the opposite. It's dumb. The newer Pokemons, they pick the weaker one just to make it easier for you. But the older ones, battling your rival was actually hard.
Oh, yeah. He's always so cocky, too.
Yeah.
Smell you later.
Is it red?
Blue. You were technically... you could obviously name your character whatever you wanted, but canonically, you were known as Pokemon Trainer Red, and your rival was Blue. Yellow, I think, that's like, that was because, and this is forward a little bit, in Silver, once you beat the champion of a different region, a Johto, there's this mountain you can climb up, and you actually can fight the canon version of the Generation 1 champion, who had he had Pikachu, Charmander, or Pikachu, Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise. He had like a lot of pretty much like, I think it was a Jolteon. I don't know if that's right or not. I think it was a Jolteon.
No, it wasn't a Jolteon. Because he had all different types. He had electric, fire, water, grass. He may have just had an Eevee because it's normal. Maybe.
I can't remember. But yeah, like, you could fight, and it was known as Pokemon Trainer Red. And so, like, that's where the name everyone thinks of, like, it's red versus blue kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the full 15 types in Generation 1 were Bug, Dragon, Electric, Fighting Fire, Flying, Ghost Grass, Ground, Ice, Normal, Poison, Psychic, Rock, and Water.
Is that 12?
15.
15. So, yeah, basically everything either had, like, 2 weaknesses and 2 things it's strong against, and the rest of it was just normal, or... It's a rock, paper, scissors game. You just better hope that yours is the strong one against someone else's. I actually could never actually grasp the idea of this. I still, to this day, don't. I just level my Pokemon up like crazy so that, like, my one Pokemon can just annihilate everything. That's about how I play.
The old super strong one, yeah.
And just to let you know, Admiral Akbar, if you're still here, you actually are right. In the United States, Blue was the original Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
Blue was the original, and then Red came out shortly after, and then Yellow came out afterwards. Yellow's just the first one I played.
Yeah. It's still in Generation 1, the region of Kanto, which is what we're talking about today. But, like, those all came out kind of in the same area before the newer ones came out. So, to me, they're all the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blue was the first one to come out.
Which I agree with you. I don't actually know the biggest differences between... I don't know the biggest differences between any of the 3 or anything in the Kanto region. Like, I just see it as... Badge 1 is going to be Brock. Badge 2 is Misty. Badge 3 is Lieutenant. Yeah, it just keeps going on.
Oh, for sure, Admiral.
Yeah.
0.5 is definitely what Yellow is.
Yes, it really is. But, so, I think you kind of went through the story a little bit, and that's kind of exactly, like, that's about the Cliff Notes version of it. So, essentially, you start off with these Pokemon, and then everywhere you go between these towns, you have routes. So, Route 1, Route 2, Route 3, 4, etc. Sometimes you run into caves, too. And what's really cool is that, like, I mean, I started playing these when I was like 8 years old, maybe 7,
right.
Maybe 8. So you got to think, like, nowadays you could probably power through these things because your brain capacity is just way more intelligent than you were when you were that young. So doing things like going through tall grass to find Pokemon and like maybe or going through these caves was so hard back then, and now it's just not even close. Like you could just demolish these old games, but it's still so fun because the best thing about these kind of games is you can't have the same game every time you restart a game. There's so many factors that go into playing this from start to finish that make it so impossible to have the same game as you had the last time. I mean, you could have a different Pokemon set, you could have different evolution types, you could miss one trainer and like fight a different one, or you can go through the entire game and fight every trainer, you know.
Yeah, you could customize your team. It's pretty the only thing that bothered me, which they're starting to fix now, was every route had only certain types of Pokemon there. Pretty much the beginning routes almost always were just Rattata, which is like a weak little mouse Pokemon, and then Pidgeys. Mm-hmm. I always liked variety, and so like now you can actually download the game and mod it to where it's randomized, and that's a lot of fun.
See, that's where we kind of can agree to disagree, though, is because I liked how those older games didn't have variety, because when you're trying to actually catch them all, your Pokédex actually will just tell you the exact region it's in. Like, let's say you missed a Pidgey, and that was the last Pokemon that you needed. You had 150, and you needed 151st. And you just couldn't find a Pidgey anywhere because you're searching between the 7th and 8th badge route, or the whatever 5th and 6th badge route, and you just can't find one. Well, Pidgeys are back at the beginning, and you know that now. You can you can.
That's
see
true.
that.
Yeah, for collections, yeah, super convenient.
But for fighting, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah. So which one was your favorite? No, actually, you were just doing research on this before the podcast too. So after the originals came out, they actually did a remake on like the Game Boy Advances of Fire Red and Leaf Green. Yep. You want to go over that real quick?
Yeah, Fire Red and Leaf Green came out a good chunk later. I'm trying to remember the initial date off the top of my head. I can't remember.
I'll get it.
Yeah. And those were updated graphics, less glitching. They added some new elements, like story-wise, like in the Generation 1... Oh, I completely forgot. Side tangent. Generation 1, there was also an entity you were battling, kind of like a League of Villains sort of aspect that called Team Rocket, that would steal people's Pokemon. So you'd battle them. In Fire Red, it's a lot more in depth on like Team Rocket. They added more islands that you can visit, and then you can also catch Pokemon from like Gen 2. So it was definitely an updated version. And then most recently, they also came out with yet another remake. This one was super updated graphics. Instead of because in the Gen 1 version, Pokemon Red, and then the second generation Pokemon Fire Red, whenever you were looking for Pokemon, you'd go through like grass, and you'd walk until your screen would flash, and then it would just show the Pokemon that you stumbled upon, right? So it'd give you like you wouldn't know what you were running into. In the Let's Go series, which is the newest generation, you could actually see the Pokemon walking around, and you could choose whether or not, I want that one, or I don't want that one, I want to engage with that one. So that was something I really appreciated.
I hated the Let's Go series. So the Let's Go series really ruined like almost everything, because you no longer could battle people.
I think you could still battle trainers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but you can't battle anything that is in the wild anymore.
Oh, no, yeah.
You have to catch them no matter what. Only thing it gives you, the only option is to catch them. And I'm like, this is so dumb. You can't run away. You can't do anything. You have to catch them. And you could have 90 Pidgeys in your inventory and still have to catch it. And I'm like, oh my god, stop.
I think you could run away from it.
I'm pretty sure you can't. It's been a long time since I played it, but I do have it for the Switch. Because I thought it was going to be the coolest thing ever to replay that game.
Let me look. I'm pretty sure you can. Because I always caught like a majority of my thing. I would just avoid the ones I didn't want, catch the ones I did want. But anyway, so those were like kind of the difference between the generations. Which they were, like I said, they've always updated the graphics, fixed glitching, and they're always like looking for like different avenues. It's just been replicated 3 generations. So if you think about it, like as it went from the Fire Red series to the Yellow series, or the Yellow release, then you had Fire Red and Leaf Green, and now you have Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
I mean,
which that biggest difference was you would pick between Pikachu or Eevee, and then that would be like your special partner that can learn certain moves and things like that.
Which, granted, I'm not mad they came out with that game. Like, it's nice to see those older generations coming back, but it's like they went the extra mile just to make sure you couldn't battle in the tall grass anymore. And it's like, you could have just left the coding in there and just remade the game with better graphics, and you chose not to. You chose to make it to where it was easier like that. And yeah, Pokemon Go is probably something in itself there. Mean Bean said Pokemon Go changed the world. That's a whole different thing in itself.
Yeah.
Like,
we had world peace for all of maybe a month or so.
Yeah, and somebody it was like somebody captured all of them in the world within a month. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. No, I was saying like that. There was like people weren't as violent anymore. Like there, like it was just like you didn't really hear about anything bad going on. Everybody was just outside catching Pokemon. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was. Pokemon Go I still play Pokemon Go every once in a while. They have some cool things that come out, and whenever especially we go on like trips and stuff, that I'll try to catch Pokemon in different areas. Kind of cool.
Right, that makes sense.
But way off topic there. I did, so just to let you know, Fire Red and Leaf Green actually came out in 2004, so it was about 6 years after the initial release of the OG games. They came out with the remastered versions of them. Again, they were on like the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Color, stuff like that, so you had to have the cartridge for it, and you had to have the stuff, and it was like $30 to buy it, and now it would be like $70.
Right.
But
I still have Fire Red and a Game Boy. Game Boy Advance SP.
I do not. Admiral Akbar says, everything changed when the third-party Pokemon maps were taken offline. Dude, seriously. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward. Ross.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite badge to fight and why? And what was your least favorite badge to fight and why? Of the 8. Okay, we're not talking Avatar. I'm about to demod you.
I'll start with my least favorite because I know that one offhand. Believe it or not, the only gym that I really had a lot of issues with was Misty for Water Pulse, and this is the Fire Red version. I mean, the Gen 1s were hard enough as is. Like in Gen 1, you like the red fire or the red, blue, green, yellow. You really had to grind to get to like where you could take on some of these gyms.
Hey, and keep talking. I'll be right back.
There you go. But in Fire Red, they updated a lot of moves, and one of the moves they added, I don't know if it was Fire Red or if it was in Gen 2, but in the Fire Red series, they added a move called Water Pulse. And I don't know if I'm assuming it's just my luck. My Pokemon were always confused. Like, that move either always critically hit or always left my Pokemon confused. And it was so tedious, or not tedious, it was just annoying and frustrating. I always had it, because I always start off with Charmander. Always will start off with Charmander. So I would have Pikachu to deal with water types, but Starmie is a tanky mother trucker, and a lot of times if my Pikachu, usually Pikachu can get off like a good Thunderbolt, and or Thunder Shock, probably wasn't a high enough level for Thunderbolt, and that would take care of it most times, but sometimes it would live through it and then water pulse my Pikachu, who's then confused, and then ends up hitting itself, and then that thing takes it out. And I'm like, cool. And then it would just like one hit my Charmander, which was super frustrating.
Yeah.
So like that's it. Everything else was easy. Like, I didn't have trouble. I did have a little trouble. I remember one game I got really frustrated because the computer would spam. I think it was like Toga, the ninja one, the poison type gym. I can't remember his name off the top of my head now.
Wait, what? I don't know if there's a poison type gym in the Gen 1s.
Mm-hmm. Unless they added him in Fire Red. Like I said, it's been a very long time since I've played Yellow.
Yeah. You keep going. Fuchsia Gym. It was.
Yeah.
That was I'm pretty sure that was like the gym.
Koga, that was his name.
Koga, that makes, because I was like, Toga P's something, but not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Koga, thank you so much. Yeah, he one time I played against him, and the bot spammed Minimize, which makes you harder to hit, and Smokescreen, which makes your Pokemon miss more. That was so frustrating.
Dude, I actually know exactly what you're talking about, because when you can't kill the Pokemon fast enough and they use that like 5 times, at that point, your accuracy's so low, you just miss everything. And then at that point, They just do what they need to because you can't hit them.
Yeah, it was super frustrating.
Yeah.
I learned quickly to have a ground type move for that, like a ground Pokemon or move specifically for that gym, and I wouldn't have an issue with it. But the most satisfying one of all was, and Admiral Akbar said it was Giovanni. One, it was just really satisfying because that was like Giovanni's the head of Team, and so you this would be like your third fight with him, and he's like the leader of Team Rocket. And then when you fight him in the gym, he's like, this will be like my, it was kind of like coming up to a clash, and it was really satisfying just to mop the floor with him.
I agree. It's pretty cool. And me being over here with the 10 biddies.
Let's go.
Thank you. Love and appreciate you. I won't demod you because you talked to Avatar, by the way. I love Avatar. It was actually a good placement of it, too. I love Avatar.
So, what were yours?
Okay.
Least and favorite.
Okay. Yeah. Least favorite. Oh, man. Also, before I get into mine, Admiral Akbar said Giovanni was his favorite and Lieutenant Surge is his least. I wanted to address that because I also want him to address in the chat why, because I want to read that as well. I want to read your reasons why Giovanni and Lieutenant Surge are your least and favorite.
He said why. He just said why it was so good to beat Giovanni. Beat him into retirement.
Oh, beat that man so bad he retires. And I guess he did say that Lieutenant Surge is his least because of stupid trash cans?
Yeah, the trash can.
So you can't. Yes, you're saying Lieutenant Surge is your least favorite because you can't figure out how to pull 2 levers among 12 trash cans?
Well, so every time you get it wrong, they change places. Yeah.
I know. I just wanted to throw Admiral Akbar out there.
Throw shade. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, throw shade.
I get it.
No, okay, so I'm going to be honest. Brock was my least favorite, I think.
Because he was so easy.
No, because so you say you use a Charmander from the beginning. Cool, you do. I was a Squirtle guy. I liked having Blastoise in the end. But the problem is I didn't ever choose Charmander because of Brock. Because fighting that first badge was so impossibly hard if you only had Charmander that you would just be setting yourself up for failure from the beginning. But then your game would be perfectly fine for the rest of the entire time. And yes, I don't know if you can hear the air horn, but Admiral Akbar, Squirtle Squad. Heck yeah, my man. But no, Brock is just like, you basically, like, in my eyes, I know you play different than I do, which is what makes this game great. But, like, I never wanted to choose Charmander because I didn't want to have to face Brock with Scratch, Ember, and Growl. Never wanted to do that.
That's why you get Mankey.
How do you get Mankey from the beginning? Are you serious?
So, I don't know if it's, like I said, Yellow was, I think he's in...
well, Yellow, it wouldn't be that wouldn't be a problem because you start off with Pikachu anyways.
Well, yeah, so Mankey is, you know that first town right after Pallet Town? I think it's like Viridian?
Yes. It's where it's Viridian City. It's where the 8th badge is.
So, if you go like you're going to where the Elite Four is, there's a small patch of grass, and you can, there's a Mankey in there.
Oh.
And Mankey knows Low Kick.
But he did say that is only in Yellow.
Yeah, which is, again, I played Yellow and then Fire Red.
I feel bad now. Like, I feel like if I would have known, Admiral, that you were such a big Pokemon dude, I would have had you on here as a guest speaker.
Yeah.
And we would have had, that'd have been awesome. But, no, so Brock, I can't think of anybody else that would have been my least favorite. Because I never really had issues. I'll tell you who my least favorite trainer is of all of Pokemon, and I can't remember the name. I'm going to search this before I say it, because it's in the 2nd generation, and you'll know who I'm talking about. Pokemon Gen 2 3rd badge. I know we're getting off topic. Whitney.
No, you're good.
Whitney.
And so, yeah, it was actually your fault for playing Blue, because he's in Red and Yellow.
Mankey?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, right?
So get shit on Blue.
No, and this is way off topic, but Whitney is my least favorite. The third badge of Gen 2, and you want to know why? Because her Miltank rollout. But we'll get into that later for sure. But what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I saw it was a video where, like, kids these days don't know the nightmare that a milk tank can induce.
Dude,
some of us have PTSD over that.
Yeah, dude, it's absolutely insane that you can just, like, you could have the best people in the world and you have a tank Pokemon that's normal that uses rollout that'll kill you in 3 hits.
Yep, because it just gets stronger every time it...
And then it doesn't matter, because once it hits rollout level 3, then every Pokemon that comes out dies in 1 hit.
Yep.
No matter what. But anyways, and my favorite was, I want to say it's the 7th badge, the Volcano guy. Because, one, I loved his Pokemon. The fire Pokemon are awesome. You have Growlithe and Arcanine and all that. And I really liked the challenges to get in. He asked questions. There's like 5 questions he asks about Pokemon knowledge. And if you miss it, you have to fight the trainer that you missed the question on. But if you get it right, he just passes you on to the next person. And I really like that. Throwback to the podcast where you guys just talked about football. Dude, that was a good one. I really like talking about sports. And it's a good timing that you say that, because MLB The Show 21 just came out, and I've been hyper addicted. But, yeah, I think that's my least favorite is Brock. Yeah, Blaine. Yeah, I always answered those wrong, even though if I knew it and I played it 20 times just to get my Pokemon trained up a little more.
Yep.
But no, my least favorite is Brock, because I felt the need that I could never choose Charmander because of him. And my favorite was Blaine, the volcano guy. And when you got to his island, you could find that the hacking guy to get like 1,000,000 rare candies.
Oh, the hacking guy.
Yeah, I forget his name. Pokemon Gen 1 hack.
I like that we have to Google everything.
Yeah, I don't know the hack Pokemon. I don't remember the Pokemon's name. I bet you Admiral's gonna come out with something and be like, it was this.
Right.
But okay, cool.
What was your...
Look at that. Look at that.
Yep, there it is.
Told you, missing no. Hey, look at that. King Thanatos, thank you for the sub, bro. Or Mean Bean. Thank you for the gifted sub to King Thanatos.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Heck yeah, air horn time. Woo!
What was your, I guess my question, and also in the chat, Admiral Akbar, what was your go-to Pokemon team? What would it be like going to the fighting the champion? What would your team look like?
So basically I went from the 8th badge straight to the Elite Four.
Right, yeah. Like,
So-
you're about to fight the champion, what
Okay.
is your party that you have?
So I'll always have my starter, so Blastoise. Well, Squirtle, yeah, all that Blastoise. Pidgeot, every time. Never go anywhere without my boy Pidgeot. And then, oh man, dude, got me. Because I never really had like a specific team that I went in with. In the middle of the game, you get either a Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan by doing a quest or something. I always chose Hitmonchan. Well, no, Hitmonlee because he's the kicker. Yep. So I always chose that because I like the kicking moves over the punching moves. Nowadays, Hitmonchan's way better because he can learn every punch move in the game. When you see you have like Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, and like Drain Punch or whatever. Oh, he's a god. So that's 3. And then the other 3, I would have already caught Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno.
Oh, I gotcha.
I would have gone with all 3 legendary birds.
Rolling in there with legendaries.
I would never go to the Elite Four, finish the last boss without it.
My go-to is a little different. I have
Gengar.
So, well, I never had friends to trade for Gengar. I got it one time in yellow, and I was so happy. But the other ones I couldn't get them.
You still
so, like
have
my
to trade
fire red.
people.
What?
You still have to trade people to get Gengar. They never took that out of the game. It's the dumbest
Yeah, you
feature.
can catch them in the wild now in the newer ones, like just a Gengar walking around, but like that's about it. For me though, like I always had obviously my Charizard, Pikachu. I would then have I would catch Pikachu in the Viridian Forest. I would evolve Eevee into Vaporeon.
Ooh, good choice.
Yep, I would have Hitmonchan because all the punching. Plus, Sky Uppercut was super good.
That it was.
I would have. What was the Pidgeot? That was my flyer, and then I honestly would either have. So I would trade out depending on which I found with which helped me the most. It would either sometimes I would switch out like Graveler or Rhyhorn or Rhydon. Sometimes I'd have Nidoking in there. I would always have some kind of big Pokemon that had some kind of ground move. Yeah, because usually it was an HM, what I call an HM slave, where I would just dump all the like flash, cut, all the things in there would usually be my 6th, unless I needed a ground type.
Yeah.
And then Admiral had Blastoise, Pharaoh, Dugtrio, Jolteon, Cloyster, and yeah. Dude, that's a solid team.
Cloyster, dude. Oh my god, he was a tank of ice.
Yeah, he was.
And Jolteon is actually... Oh, actually, that's the next question I'm going to ask you. So, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, I was just going to... on his team, Pharaoh actually had I think Pharaoh had a higher critical hit chance. And that it knew Drill Peck, which I think... Or was it Drill Peck? There was one flying move that someone could do that's like a one-hit KO. And then, yeah, Clamp and Toxic were Super broken.
To be honest, I think you're very right on the drill pick. I'm pretty sure that was like the critical hit chance was like a 90% or 85%, and you could just demolish somebody. But it was a flying type move though, so if it was like all that, ow. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, that's the podcast, boys and girls. See ya. Just kidding. So, what rank? I want you to rank the 3 original, or 4, I guess, if you count Eevee herself, evolutions, and why you rank them the way you do. So there would be Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon, and Eevee.
Okay, so I'll start with the bottom. Eevee. Base Eevee stats are pretty low, unfortunately. There's not a lot of good moves that it learns other than Takedown, which damages itself. So, Eevee, very bottom. The next one would be Flareon. I love how Flareon looks, but again, stats. That and I already had a fire Pokemon, so when it came down to it, I would rather have... Vaporeon had the higher special attack stat, and then, which is why Vaporeon's my top favorite. Jolteon's my second, and then Flareon. Jolteon is really good for an attack. It had a higher attack stat. And it could learn a bug move called Pin Missile in Gen 3 that was super nice. Which was really good against Psychic types. And but 9 times out of 10, I'd always get Vaporeon unless I just wanted to change something up. Like I'm just changing up a team. I would always get Vaporeon for Surf. It's a water type. It's tanky. And it has high hit points. And it could learn ice and water moves. And the special attack was pretty high on it. Yeah, Pin Missile, Admiral Akbar, right there with Pin Missile. Yeah, it was having a good bug move for Psychic types, just super nice. That's my ranking.
It's fair. Cool. And you said Jolteon's your number 1. Is that what you said?
Jolteon's my second.
Second. So I think that's what I would actually flip between you and I.
Yeah, it's a hard decision, but 9 times out of 10, because I always started with Charmander, I'd probably always get Vaporeon.
So, here's why I would put Jolteon above the rest, and it's not because Pin Missile. Pin Missile's fantastic, but the way I played the game, and this is just the way I do it, so I used to put Jolteon's agility up super high. As high as it could go. Didn't matter what it is. Jolteon would be the very first Pokemon that I put in when I went to the Elite Four. And I would throw Thunder Wave at every single Pokemon they threw out. And then when they die, I would bring out another Pokemon. So you throw Thunder Wave at the first one. You bring out your Pokemon, and then it's about a 50-50 chance as to whether or not you're going to actually stop someone from making a move. So then I'll bring out my Blastoise, and half the time, I never got hit. And then when they died, they would say, do you want to use another Pokemon? Yep, bring out Jolteon. And I don't know, I'm a big fan of electric type. I'm a big fan of having that. So like having the Thunder Shock, the Thunder, the Thunder Wave, and all that, dude. It was a lot of fun. And I would probably throw in Quick Attack too, just because if you get in the Elite Four and you got a Pokemon down to like 1 health or something, and they try to use some sort of healing move, well, Quick Attack, you're going to get the first hit, and that's going to kill them. You just have to have it in your arsenal. Admiral Akbar also said Jolteon's number 1 because of Pin Missile. So
yeah.
See, I'm just not like my water type is Squirtle. I do everything from the second I get Squirtle, I go all the way to like level 100 Blastoise. So I've gone through every They have every water move that I can ever imagine to have. I don't need Vaporeon. I actually would put Vaporeon maybe even below Flareon. Because your reason for Flareon is you already have a fire type. I would have Moltres, but not by the time I get Flareon.
Right.
And I wish in Gen 1 they would have created what's the grass type of Eevee?
Leafeon?
Yeah, I wish they had that, but they didn't.
My all-time favorite evolution was Espeon, which is Gen 2.
Yes.
But that was by far one of my favorite ones. I guess and all the Eevee evolutions, I would probably go with the fairy type one. I don't like it though because, again, like I think as the generations have gone on, I don't like the newer generations of Pokemon. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's hard to like them, and that's just because it's not that I don't like change. It's just that there's a garbage Pokemon. There's an ice cream cone Pokemon.
There's a keychain, like a key ring. I'm sorry.
Like it just ruins it for me.
So my favorite evolution is Umbreon.
Yeah. Everyone I know is like, oh, Umbreon's better. Oh yes.
So
Admiral Akbar, Espeon Squad. What up?
So I guess no. I guess if it's not Umbreon for me, it's Glaceon. The look of Glaceon is so amazing. Like I don't even care about movesets at that point. The look of Glaceon is just like a slick icicle of an evolution, and it looks awesome. And just so everyone knows, my least favorite of Eevee, Eevee sucks in general. I would take every evolution over the original Eevee.
I know.
And it sucks because normal Pokemon are really hard to find.
Yeah.
And their only weakness is normal Pokemon.
Fighting. Also weakens fighting.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think there is, like, I think the only good normal Pokemon I can think of...
Say it.
...was Snorlax.
Yes! Especially if you had the Poke Flute. Because you can get down to, like, no health because he's a tank, and then you use Rest, and then you wake him up.
I always did, like in Gen 3 they added Snore, which is a move you can use only when you're asleep. So, like... What I would do is I would have my Snorlax. It would have like Rest, Snore, Headbutt, and Belly Drum. If I could teach it Roll Out, super, I'd do that. But 9 times out of 10, it would always be like Snore, Rest, Headbutt, and Belly Drum. Belly Drum was so good.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
What is your all-time favorite Pokemon out of the Generation 1? Generation 1.
Jesus Christ.
Like, if you were a Pokemon trainer, this would be the one you would have that, like, Pikachu and Ash bond with.
I know, man. Man, that's making me cycle through 151.
I know mine.
I just don't want to give such a basic answer. Oh, mine's Mewtwo. Okay.
I mean, if Mewtwo is what you like, Mewtwo is dope.
I know, but, like, of course you're going to like him because he's built to be liked. He's built to be the strongest out there. Like, everyone likes him. But I don't think he'd be my favorite. To be honest, it might be a tie, and you're going to hate one answer and maybe like the other.
Mm.
Alakazam or Pidgeot. Pidgeot, dude, Pidgeot looks like the type of person who, like, goes to work at Wall Street and slicks their hair back with a bunch of grease. Because once you get it, she has the bangs that come down. It just slicks back and looks dope. And then Alakazam... Dude, you know how you just have to do so much work to get an Alakazam that like the reward is amazing when you finally get it. You're like, "Oh my god, he's carrying 2 spoons. I'm so happy."
Look at those spoons.
Yeah.
Look at those spoons.
Look at the spoons he holds. What about you?
What?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Why?
So in Generation 1, unfortunately at the time they were immune to psychic types, but Gengar actually had a higher speed than Alakazam. That and ghost types are just really fucking cool. I love ghost types. If I was a legit trainer, I would be a ghost trainer. 100%.
I bet you'd be too scared.
I'd be a ghost trainer?
Yeah. You'd see ghosts all the time. You'd be terrified.
That's fine. Do you know the games I play?
I can't be mad. Yeah, I played it with you today. I can't be mad about that though. Gengar's actually like, even in the show, he's just hilarious. He's just a funny type guy too. He's not even just like a scary type. He doesn't try to scare people, but he's just funny. And the moves that he has is unmatched.
Yeah, his special attack is through the roof. If not, would rival that of Alakazam. Like,
It's good.
the fact that psychic types were immune to ghost types, only reason he wasn't broken in that game.
Yep.
And I would say, other than Gengar in Generation 1, I did have a profound love for Scyther.
Oh, yes, dude.
His kit was just so bad.
Yes,
but his speed was through the roof.
Like,
and freaking Scythe Claws, like those, that was so good.
yeah, he looks amazing. I think he's one of my favorite like Pokemon like by looks. But you're right, his moveset was so bad. They could have done so much more.
I do take it back. There is one more above Scyther, and that is Lapras. I love Lapras.
No.
It is a beautiful water ice type Pokemon that is majestic. And also a super, super funny to hit Perish Song on a Pokemon and then make them watch them just slowly die until they retracted.
I don't care about Lapras at all. And Mean Bean over here says Bulbasaur. Wow, basic.
Basic.
You literally
so basic.
You like the one of the 3 Pokemon you can choose at the beginning. You have no work ethic. There's no work ethic.
She likes them because they're cute, but that's about it. She is basic.
You're the only person on the planet that likes Bulbasaur.
I just watched her listen to that. She's just getting lame.
Fight me. Bulbasaur's the worst.
We would fight you and we would win because Bulbasaur is the worst.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the vines. I'm glad you can sprout into a flower and use the sun. Cool.
Right. I will say that Razor Leaf critical chances are super nice.
Yeah, but when that solar beam comes out, what happens when you do it at night?
It's nothing.
It's nothing. You can't. It's not the moon beam. It's the solar beam.
Right.
I actually, to be honest, I really don't like Bulbasaurs. I think they are genuinely one of the worst Pokemon in the game. But to be honest, too,
Onion Frog.
Onion Frog. In Gen 1, though, correct me if I'm wrong, grass types were not good. Like, in general, grass types just genuinely weren't great. Nobody, you don't have a gym for grass type because. Yeah, who's this?
It is Electra. I can't never pronounce her name. It's the third gym.
The third gym is Lieutenant Surge.
Or the fourth gym. Sorry, the fourth gym. The one after Lieutenant Surge. It's the one with the giant shopping building. The one where you same town you get Eevee in. Eureka? Yeah, that's it.
Oh, and it was like Tangela and Weeping Bell, and it was the easiest fight of your life because there's literally nothing.
They had Vileplume, who's tanky, but I mean, the worst case scenario. Oh no, not sleep powder. No.
Yeah, and because that's like all grass types are built to do is just kind of control area effect like stuff. They don't actually attack you very well. Especially now, at that point, you almost everything a grass's weakness is almost everything.
I would, yeah. They had a lot of issues, but they were really nice against rock, ground, water, And I was gonna say there was one.
That's what I'm saying, Admiral. Charizard with water or water type with Ice Beam. Sit down.
Yes. They it was nice to know, like, there was one I can remember. I think in Generation 2 they got a lot better. Like, freaking Weeping Bell or Victory Bell in Generation 2 kicked ass.
Mm-hmm.
Kicked so much ass.
Oh.
But like, you just, by the time you found any good grass types, your party was already either complete or overpowered, or like already to the point you're like, I'm not catching really.
Yeah, and I had another Pokemon that I had a huge affiliation with that I loved. Rapidash. Don't know why, just the looks of it. It was so good. It looked really good, and it was a really good fire type.
Mm-hmm. Dude, Stomp, so good.
Yeah. I think we got time for one more question, and I'll ask it.
Yep.
Least favorite and favorite Elite Four battle.
Oh, do you count the champion?
Yes.
Okay, the champion was favorite.
Elite 5, so.
Yeah, the Elite 5 and the champion. Beating the champion, like, of the Elite 4, I would say, what was the dragon one was really cool, especially in Fire Red, like the new party. Yeah, Lance, the one he had, that was really nice. My my least favorite was probably the first one because it was just really easy. I think there was a ghost one as well, or one that had what was his name?
Agatha.
Yeah, Agatha.
She was a ghost type.
He was cool just because we're a ghost type, but what was the one guy's name?
Bruno.
I think that was number 2.
Yeah, there's Lorelei, Bruno, Agatha.
Bruno's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he's Rock. He's like Rock or fighting or whatever.
Yeah, Bruno is super easy. It was number 1 was the one I actually had, the ice one, ice and water, because a lot of my, like, there's only a few Pokemon that were good against water types, like Pikachu, but like obviously certain one of those Pokemons could just decimate it if I wasn't careful. I actually had the most trouble with the ice one. The most satisfying one was probably, like I said, the dragon one. Just beating dragons are super cool. And then the Agatha was really fun. Yeah, but Bruno, super easy. That's my least favorite one at all. Like, it was no joke to how quick easy that one was. L'Oreal was really difficult. I forgot. I repressed some of those issues I had with her.
Yeah,
ice types.
So I'm looking it up now, and I agree with you. Obviously, the champion would be number 1 because that's the best fight. But yeah, Lorelei, that ice type. So I'm looking it up as to why that's probably, like, for people who don't know. She had a Dugong, a Cloyster, a Slowbro, a Jinx, and a Lapras.
They're just tanky. That's why it was so annoying, is because they'd freeze you and they were tanky.
Yes.
But it was like really fun. But Bruno was just a sweep. I don't know why he's an elite member.
Yeah.
What? Oh, can you just hold on 1 second? We're almost done.
Admiral Akbar says champion's number 1, first member is the worst. So Lorelei he also hated too. In which I also hated. And other than the champion, I think I agree with you. Lance was my favorite because, 1, it's satisfying to beat the last one. Because for those of you who don't know, the Elite Four are the best 4 members of the entire game. And you have to fight them back to back to back to back to back without using a Poke Center, without using anything. So if your Pokemon die, you have to have the inventory to revive them and use full restores and all that. So it's tough to get to the end and still survive.
Yeah, it was a contest every time.
Yeah, so beating Lance was so satisfying because you had never seen dragons in the entire game. Except, he has a Gyarados, Aerodactyl, Dragonair, Dragonite, and this thing's wrong, so I won't even say.
Aerodactyl was a pain in the ass.
Uh-huh. But then Bruno had a Steelix, an Onyx, a Machamp, a Hitmonchan, and Hitmonlee.
That's Fire Red.
Oh.
Because Steelix wasn't until Gen 2.
Oh, that was just a guess, because this thing, it says it had 2 Onyxes, and I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
He did. So then Lance had 2 Dragonairs, a Gyarados, an Aerodactyl, and a Dragonite. Dragonite's below the evolution. Oh. So he had one below the evolution level and the other one above it, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Makes sense. But yeah, I think I agree with you. And then Bruno was, and then the ghost types kind of suck depending on like what Pokemon you have, because you got to pay attention to your list of people or Pokemon, because you can't just like make your entire 6 Pokemon based off of like the first battle, because then you'll be bad against the fighting, the ghost, or the dragon. And the ice one or the ghost one was the hardest to me, because I feel like you could get through the first one pretty easily, like the levels were low, and then the second one, Bruno, was like, okay, that was harder, but then the ghost, it's like half of your moves missed or didn't affect them, or they used sleep and Dream Eater.
Hypnosis, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was so hard. But I think that's my consensus.
Yeah. It's just so nice beating Gary. He's like, I'm the champion! Not anymore.
Yeah. Anything else?
No. I think that's about all we can do on Gen 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did about an hour and 10 minutes talk track on Gen 1 alone.
I know. That's why we only did Gen 1.
That's why we had to split it up, because we're going to do a lot more of these.
Yeah, because I like Gen 2. Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I like Gen 2 Crystal and Gold.
Yeah, Gen 2 was my favorite. By far my favorite.
Yeah. But I think that wraps it up for all the content we have for Generation 1 Pokemon. Do you have any final thoughts? I feel like we can't rate these because Pokemon's 10 out of 10 for me. All of them.
It's gonna be a 10 out of 10. It was like for its time, it's only gotten better, except for the Pokemon.
Yes,
themselves.
exactly. Yeah,
it's just been downhill.
But Gen 1 is by far the best to me, easily.
See, my peak was Gen 2. It just so good.
I like Johto, but I don't know. We'll get into it. We'll figure it out. Pokemon is something that we'll probably slice it up into little pieces, and we'll put out podcasts about it a little more, just not back to back to back or anything. But
it'll be something we cover later. Yeah.
But my final thought, my last thing I have to say is, again, Mean Bean, thank you for the suggestion. Pokemon is something I could talk about for hours and hours. And thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, you definitely chatted a lot. You blew up the chat about being mad and stuff, but it is what it is.
We roasted her Bulbasaur.
Yeah, and
it is weak to fire damage.
Thank you for the gifted sub too, and all that, and then the bits, the 10 bits and everything. I appreciate you. And Admiral Akbar, thank you for sticking around and chatting with us. We have a lot of fun.
We appreciate it.
We have a lot of fun interacting with the chat and getting you guys involved just as much. It's lots of fun. Those are my final thoughts. Anything else for you?
I want to thank a huge shout out to the chat for just being interactive. If you guys want to interact with the chat, you're always welcome to. This time next Sunday we'll be here. Look forward to it.
Cool. And final statements again. Rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. It helps a lot. And if you want to accompany that with a review, we'll read it live on here. Make sure you follow the Twitch stream at twitch.tv/crispyclaire or twitch.tv/pieflava. It's going to be all in the show notes. And then we'll also put Mean Bean in here because it was her suggestion. So twitch.tv/mean_bean96. Join the Discord. That'll also be in the show notes. We take episode suggestions. We talk in there. We have chat channels. We just have a lot of fun. We're building a community there, and it's fun. And if you have any other things that you're listening to on this and you want to, come into the Discord and just talk to us about it, we're free and open. Just let us know.
Yeah.
I'm down to talk about Pokemon or any other game you guys want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And who knows? Maybe if you know enough about a game and you give it to us, you'll be the guest speaker on this. We love to have extra people.
Yeah, always happy to have.
I don't think I have anything else, Mr. Ross.
I think that is everything. Yes. Thanks for everybody coming out. Tune in next week. I'm excited.
Yep.
I'm pumped already.
Always pumped. 7:30 Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/crispyclear. And if that's it, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all the love and support, guys. Love and appreciate all and every one of you. And thank you for listening to the Pokemon Podcast. Peace.